The Supreme Court has a critical and influential role in the US political system. Its decisions shape not only the law but also societal values and practices. Understanding how it functions, the key players involved, the types of cases it hears, and its broader impact on the country is essential for a comprehensive understanding of the American political system. The structure of the Supreme Court composition. The Supreme Court is made up of 9 justices, 1 Chief Justice and 8 Associate Justices. The President nominates justices and the Senate confirms or rejects them. Justices serve lifetime appointments. Presidential appointments are significant as they can shape the court for generations. Justices are typically appointed based on political ideology, legal experience and past judicial philosophy. Jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Original jurisdiction. This refers to cases that can be heard directly by the Supreme Court without first going through lower courts. These usually involve disputes between states or cases involving foreign diplomats. Appellate jurisdiction. The Supreme Court generally hears cases on appeal from lower courts, federal courts of appeals or state Supreme Courts. Most of the cases heard by the court are appellate in nature. Role of the Supreme Court. Judicial review. The power of the court to review the constitutionality of laws and executive actions. This was established in the landmark case Marbury v. Madison in 1803, where Chief Justice John Marshall affirmed the court's authority to strike down laws or executive actions that violate the Constitution. Interpretation of the Constitution. Justices interpret the Constitution's meaning, which can evolve with changing societal values. This can lead to broad or narrow interpretations of constitutional principles. Certiorari process. The Supreme Court receives thousands of petitions each year, but selects only a small number for review. A case is selected for review through a process called writ of certiorari, where at least 4 justices must agree to hear the case. Amicus Curiae briefs. Outside parties, called amici or friends of the court, may submit briefs to provide additional perspectives or arguments to assist the court in making its decision. Oral arguments. After granting certiorari, both parties present oral arguments before the court. These arguments are typically limited to 30 minutes each and are followed by questions from the justices. Conference and opinion writing. After hearing a case, the justices meet in a private conference to discuss the case. The justice who is in the majority will write the opinion of the court. This opinion explains the legal reasoning behind the decision. Majority, concurring and dissenting opinions. Majority opinion, the decision that most of the justices agree with. Concurring opinion, written by justices who agree with the majority's decision but for different reasons. Dissenting opinion, written by justices who disagree with the majority decision. Judicial philosophy. Judicial restraint. The philosophy that judges should not make policy decisions and should defer to the elected branches of government, limiting their power to interpreting the law strictly based on the Constitution's text. Judicial activism. The philosophy that judges should take an active role in shaping public policy and the law, especially in cases involving civil rights or societal issues, sometimes expanding or interpreting the Constitution beyond its original meaning. Key Supreme Court cases. Marbury v. Madison in 1803 established the principle of judicial review. Brown v. Board of Education in 1954 ruled that racial segregation in public schools was unconstitutional, overturning Plessy v. Ferguson. Roe v. Wade in 1973 recognized a woman's right to choose an abortion under the right to privacy. Miranda v. Arizona in 1966 established the requirement for police to inform suspects of their rights, known as Miranda rights, during arrest. Obergefell v. Hodges in 2015 legalized same-sex marriage across the United States, finding that the right to marry is protected by the Constitution. Impact of the Supreme Court. Social and political influence. The decisions of the Supreme Court have a profound impact on American society and politics. Court decisions often reflect the court's interpretation of the Constitution, but they can also influence the direction of public policy and public opinion. Checks and balances. The court plays a key role in the system of checks and balances, ensuring that the legislative and executive branches do not overstep their constitutional bounds. Controversial issues and criticism. Court packing proposals to increase the number of justices on the court, especially in response to ideological concerns about the makeup of the court. Judicial independence versus political influence. Debate over whether justices are truly independent or whether their decisions are influenced by personal or political ideology. Stare decisis. The principle of adhering to precedent. However, the court sometimes overturns its own past decisions, leading to concerns about stability in the law. The court's impact on civil rights and liberties, expanding rights. The court has historically played a significant role in expanding civil rights, such as in cases related to racial segregation, gender equality, and individual freedoms, for example, Griswold v. Connecticut and Lawrence v. Texas. Limiting rights. At times, the court has also upheld laws or decisions that limit individual rights, particularly when balancing those rights against governmental or societal interests.